Hello, my name is Ishime Kathy on the program Safe Life. Today we host Mr. Ranga Christopher, whose leg was amputated due to diabetes. He's here to share with us his story. You're most welcome. Please say hello to the viewers.
Hello, our listeners and viewers. I'm very happy to be hosted here by UBC on a very special program which touches my heart, and that is a program of how I have made it in life as a person with disability after being amputated. I'm very happy that UBC, our national broadcaster, has come out with such a special program such that I can air my views and reach out to the people in the same boat or who may be in the same boat tomorrow.
Okay. Tell us, who is Mr. Ranga Christopher?
Mr. Ranga is a complex animal. He's as old as independence and is a product of Uganda's independence. Since I'm a product of Uganda's independence, I'm trained professionally as a teacher who has had the expansive teaching career in Uganda at Namiryango College and Rubiri and Natete Makai briefly, then in Zambia at Holy Cross Girls Secondary School, Mungu, Western Province from around 1989 to 2001, and then in Zambia still, Kabwe Central Province at Angelina Tembo Girls School from 2001 to 2006, and then to New South Sudan, Eastern Equatorial State, Tolit Senior Secondary from 2006 to 2009, and effectively from 2009 to the present time as an instructor and head of UPC Ideology School at Uganda House, the party headquarters of UPC, and then the head patron of Mulungushi Club. I'm essentially a complex animal.
Okay, talking about the diabetes, when did you realize that you had it, and how was the situation then?
This is somehow mysterious. It is in a mystery because I have lived that complete life where I'm very active, where I'm very vigorous in almost whatever I'm doing. The last days when I fell sick, it was totally unbelievable. We had just got involved in the program for the burial of our senior elder, Major Edward Ulangalanga. The ceremonies involved going to the parliament, church, traveling to Western Uganda. I was heavily involved because he's a senior elder, a nationalist, a Pan-Africanist, and what have you. Then from there, after the burial of Major Edward Ulangalanga in Chitagata, Bushenyi, I was again invited for a workshop at a center in Nigeria where we are discussing, I think, ideology under the arrangement of Interparty. After the workshop, a friend dropped me midway on the way and I picked a border. Reaching home, I was a bit tired and I felt as if my ankle had twisted. So I did not want to be disturbed. I just said, no, let me have a cup of tea and sleep. As I continued to sleep, that ankle continued becoming mild and painful. I could not understand it. Then from there, I realized that I needed to urinate several times before I could negotiate my way. This time, the rate at which the urine was coming was not even allowing me to reach just a few meters. I said, what is this? Then I have my colleague who is also a doctor. I tried to call him to come and check the situation. When he came to check the situation, he took the sample. But I shifted from the bedroom to a sitting room. Then when he made the last call, he was saying, we have checked your blood sample, but there is an element of diabetes. It took me by surprise.
So not at any point did you
Not at any point, because my work schedule, like previously, it was start off from Kaboja, you are dropped at the old car park or the new park. To keep fit, walk from there to the party quarter. Daily, that was my routine. And going back, it was vice versa. So I was very fit. I never had those issues. And in my life, I had only been admitted to the hospital once. Okay, so it took me by surprise. And I took long to digest it. I said, no, I can get treated from here. Till the family realized that the life was more precarious on my part. But I was still adamant. Till they just, my brother-in-law, Uncle Joel Kawoya from Mutundwe, came with a vehicle, packed me in the vehicle, and I was dropped in Rubaga. Then they contacted the rest of my daughters, the family members, and from the briefings now they were getting, they were saying this man is supposed to die. The sugar levels is too high. Yeah, I think for those who know the job, it was beyond 18.
And how was the process for you? How did you deal with it? How long did it take for you to feel, yes, I'm in this situation, I am supposed to survive through it?
Now, what happened when I was taken to Rubaga, this pain of the ankle was still there, and it had increased. Okay. Little did we know what it meant. That meant that I had developed a blood clot. I think you people, you have had a blood clot recently with the Lieutenant General of Lotech. This is the same situation I was in, but I was totally ignorant of it. So Rubaga had a possibility that they can cure it by giving some medication and not to go to the extreme. So they bought some time, but it was paining, and the leg was turning to black. This is when I realized that the real problem. And then they were struggling to bring the sugar levels down. Okay. Till now they reached a stage that we cannot do much. This clot may even reach his heart. So they wrote a letter now referring me to Mulago Hospital. And as they were referring me to the Mulago Hospital, they were saying, we are releasing you when you have paid our money. This is how now I must be very thankful to the family members who handled that situation when I was down, and to the friends who came in. Okay. This is the first time I jumped into an emergency ambulance to Mulago. And Mulago straight, the pain was much, and they simply said, you follow the formality and you sign. Now your leg is going. I said, let it go.
That's what led to the amputation?
Yes. Okay. I said, let it go. It is even hopeless now, and it is paining me. So they now had to prepare my mind that I'm going for an operation. Okay. I said, it is okay.
And then how was it on the side of your family? How did they take it in?
The family, normally our family is a family which gives us freedom. And they are more mature, they understand these situations. They were only worried because I was a bit stubborn, and you know that I'm naturally a stubborn person. Okay. In order to change society, you must also have some backbone on issues. If you don't have backbone on issues, it becomes very bad. So I accepted it, and immediately they gave me a lecture, and I was taken to the theater, and I tried to follow the theater, what goes on, till they told me, now we are going to inject you a final one, and you cease to follow and to feel the pain. I said, fine. And they did all their activities. This is the time I saw that the theater is a very small thing. And a lot of things go in there. People are joking. When you... But I had talked to my daughter, my last born daughter, that please, I'm going to the theater. I don't know whether I'm coming back. But even if I don't come back, respect the rest of your parents and normalize the relationship with your special husband.
Okay.
That was the...
Coming back to
Yes.
they have told you your leg is going, and the whole process, how did you manage to deal with it? Because I understand it's a very painful situation. Like, where would you get all the strength from and up to today? Because when you were totally normal and then all of a sudden you lose your leg, how do you manage to accept that? Because most people are having the same situation, but they're still in that denial moment. They haven't yet accepted who they are now. How do you do that, and what's the trick?
I think it is a chain here. Why am I saying a chain? Lubaga saved me, referred me to Mulago.
Yeah.
Mulago did their technical part, but my family sat down without my consent. And they said, this son of ours, this brother of ours, to take him straight to Kirudu or to Kabodia, it is fatal. Let us take him to Mengo Hospital. Mengo Hospital is so good in handling these cases.
Okay.
They don't only treat you the wound, they also treat the mind. Yes, they have a lot of specialists who talk to you, whether on diet, whether on accepting your fate, whether on looking forward. I'm actually so much indebted to them. They did a lot of counseling. Okay? Through that type of counseling, they prepared me for simple challenges which you may not appreciate. The first thing they whispered to me was, my friend, now you are amputated.
Yeah.
But in an event that you are discharged, not to disturb anyone, you must have mastered using the crutches. So put it to yourself to learn to use the crutches now as you are here. That was one. Two, they told me whether you come from rural area or town, you must ensure that you have self-contained facilities which are waterborne, like toilets, and water which you can easily use either whatever means to bath yourself, and you are independent. So the family had to interpret the message and upgraded all my facilities.
So you mean by then you didn't have all the
I
facilities?
did not have all
in place?
those facilities because I could manage to walk outside, do whatever business, bath from outside, what have you, okay? It had not dawned to me. This is when now I realized, okay? Then, of course, they also touched some other aspects that diet has to change completely. This is the recommended diet. Everything which I have to eat is almost boiled, minus cooking oil. They even told me if it is to eat a chicken, that skin of it, you forget.
Okay.
And they told me to go much for white meat, poultry, birds, what have you. Then vegetables, they gave me a formula that to contain your diabetes, apart from the actual drugs you take, the diet is the key thing. Okay. If you want to eat too much food, ensure that half of the plate is vegetables. I was not so much used to eating vegetables.
Okay.
So
to cut you short,
yes.
In the process there, as they're telling you all these things, I know it's not really easy to just shift from eating whatever you want to this diet thing. And then the clutches, you're not used to having them around you. How long did it take for you to start getting used to these things, and how did you manage to do it? Because very many are out there struggling to follow the dietary programs they're having, but it's a very difficult thing. How are you doing it?
I think it has to do much with my background. My background, I'm an educationist and a political gadder. Okay. I learned my politics, I learned my trade from the foot of a master. Okay. And this master is Obote, our founding father. If I could listen to him and learn a lot from him, I had to transfer that respect to the personnel I met when I had this problem. They all came, talked to me, brainstormed things, and I started seeing reality. They even told me, now you have to accept yourself. Okay? This is the situation you are in. But you can make better of it, and you can even help others. So since I'm an educationist who is always following authority, it was relatively easier to listen to those simple people and internalize things and struggle to put them into practice. Then I shouldn't also forget, my wife passed away in 2000 in Zambia, yes, and left me with the responsibility of the children. Now, if I'm having that type of responsibility, how do I afford to die or not to follow anything which prolongs my life? Okay, so there was a lot which was at stake. There was much which was at stake. And I have even now to point out that why there was a lot which was at stake. A moment my former pupils at Holy Cross Girls Secondary School in Mungu heard that I was in this problem, they immediately contributed resources to handle my situation, together with my other students in Angelina Tembo in Kabwe. So there was a lot of Pan-Africanism which came in, and it was very difficult for me to disappoint it. I had to pull through at whatever cost, and also God was on my side. My sickness became an African issue.
So it was a very normal issue for you. You never had any challenges accepting what was going on.
Me, I accepted. I never hid away from anyone. I never got any single depression. Okay? So that is what helped me. But at the same time also, I have to mention this one. Though my friend has never given me permission to talk about it very publicly. The time I fell sick, I was starting a relationship. And I had gone very far with that relationship, laying its foundation. Then immediately, problem came in, and that person just saw from the Facebook that I'm down in the hospital, came to the hospital, but did not realize that I had been amputated. So when I came out of the hospital, that person came to see me, and I explained everything, and to me, God should reward that person, because that person has never abandoned me up to now. Wow. And this was a situation of August 2017.
Okay, that leads us to our next question, because I am so curious to know. I don't think if I met someone and that person is completely normal, I would accept them after having that situation. What did that person do? How did they accept it? Because there are very many out there with facing the same challenges, but they do not know how to accept the people the way they are now.
This one, I have even told my friends, and I've even told my family, and I've even told my daughters that my friend has accepted me in the way the situation is. And my friend is young. You people put us in prayers. Me, I will allow my friend, whatever destiny the friend decides, I will not interfere. But I will continue pleading that, my friend, you made me come out of this problem. Because when you are sick and you are recovering, you are alone in the room.
Definitely.
People come, deliver to you food, and as they deliver to you food, they go away. You remain alone. Now, you need a second person who will come to comfort you, whether for 30 minutes or for 1 hour, and you believe in that person. So, sincerely, that person has been with me up to now.
And how did you get the artificial leg?
The artificial
Who
limb.
helped you?
Yeah, the artificial limb is also something which is very important, and it is a miracle.
Okay.
It is a miracle in this way. I was coming from a training either in Mukono or from Tororo. Normally when I'm maneuvering in Kampala, since it is a busy place, I always find specific places to jump out of the vehicle or border.
Okay.
And I start another journey. So this time I made it sure that it is Uganda House because of its space. And I immediately went to Uganda House. As I was going to the flag post, a Muzungu, white lady saw me. And that white lady invited me. I came and greeted me and said, I'm going to give you an artificial limb.
Wow.
I said, fine, give me. I have tried several places. I have been to Kus, I've been where. The figures they told me, they are so prohibitive. Then as the lady was talking like that, she gave me a contact, a business card. And she was saying, I'm traveling even outside the country, either tonight or tomorrow. But the business card had a contact of a certain place known as Pro Uganda in Kalaji, Bugerere Road.
Okay.
So I immediately went there. They got my details. I registered. And they told me, you go home, we shall contact you.
Okay.
And I think 2 years, they rang me that can you come? So I went to the place. They took the measurements and they told me now you are coming back for the residential training.
Okay.
I was there for almost 2 months. 1 month. I did the training. They gave me the artificial limb. I started putting it on, training at home continuously. But towards the end of April, either early start of April, when I was training, maybe I stepped somewhere or something happened. And after I had finished training, there is that pain, they call it phantom pain when they had just cut off the leg. It came immediately and it was not stopping. So when I consulted the doctor told me no, first use hot water regularly, then you can also use a cream until you recover fully. When you recover now, you can resume.
Okay.
So I have recovered. I'm about to resume.
Okay, as you're giving out your last remarks, would you give a message to people who are in the same situation, but they're trying to come out of it and they do not know exactly what to do? And as you're giving out your message, at least assure them that even if they're in this situation, it does not have to affect their daily activities.
I think here we must know the background of why someone is amputated. If it is the background of being amputated because of a border accident, the demands are less. If it is amputation because of diabetics, the demands are more.
Okay.
You have to take proper diet,
At this point,
medication.
we are talking about those who are diabetic.
Yes.
Yeah.
With those who have diabetics, you have to be very, very cooperative with almost everyone. This is the time you realize that society is very important. One, you may not have resources to have that simple food of the diabetes, but you need it.
Okay.
You need it to balance. So you need a lot of cooperation and working relationship. Like for me, I have a network of a border. I have a network of a market. When I go to buy things in the market, I simply sit in one stand, and that person who is my network gets all what I need for a week and I take home.
Okay.
Then I have to have a network of somebody who buys my medicine from the pharmacy. Remember, we have just come out from the lockdown. How that syndicate now works, how that network now works, it means there is cooperation. Okay. Then also the family, all the clan, all the relatives must know that this man has a mandate to feed himself. And this man has a mandate of buying medicine. Okay. And this man has a mandate of having some money to look for this disease, to look after this disease. It is a rich man's disease, as they say. So there are a lot of challenges. Then most of your people also, they should not see you as somebody who is so much disabled, or as somebody whom they should feel pity about. Then, us with all these problems, whether diabetes or amputation, we must take the opportunities which the government has created. Okay. I want to tell you that now I'm a PWD representative, people with disability representative, up to a town council level. I only lost the elections at a district level. I'm an executive at Chengera. So we should speak out. We should not hide. You see why amputation has caused a lot of problems and some of these disabilities. Normally society ignores us and it does not at times like us. If it is public transport, they will say, we are not taking such type of people. They give us problems. Okay? So, and even you find that we are discriminated at any other time. Okay? But we must not force our way as such, but we must explain. Okay. We must explain, we must be humble, because we have been tormented. Those who have started with disability, with amputation when they are young, and they have not been cancelled, they are so much wounded, they are so much bitter. Even us to talk to our fellow friends, we find it that we must find a way, a better way, a better way. So the focus should be in educating the society, the challenges we face, and also us to help the society to understand that we had not accepted our situation, but accepting it is helping the country to move forward and also us to move forward. Okay. But the challenges have been much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Ranga. It was really nice having you.
Okay.
Let's put our hands together and support these people instead of abandoning them. Otherwise, remember, living a safe life is your right and responsibility. I am Mishimwe Kathy. Stay safe.